Well, quite frankly, war is hell.
I don't know how you can talk about it.
Our first year over there, our bomb group lost 75% of the men in planes.
They can't fathom what I went through.
We lost over 58,000 good soldiers there.
It was a little depressing because I got there on the 17th of December, so it was, Merry Christmas, welcome to the desert.
But we got everything from car bombs to rocket attacks to mortar attacks on a daily basis.
It just seemed like your body was upside down every day, and you didn't know what was going to happen.
The worst thing we had to worry about was anti-personnel mines. And because they'd always plant them around machine gun nests or around mortar emplacements and so on. So when you went there, you had to be very careful. They were very cunning in how they placed those.
A month or so before we got ready to redeploy to come home, my vehicle was targeted with an IED. The explosion was confusing, and it felt like time stood still. I knew there were 4 people in my vehicle, but once the smoke cleared, there were only 2 of us left.
We got hit by fighters and kind of got scattered around out of formation, and they threw enough flak at us that they hit me in the foot and in the back.
Well, I stepped on a box mine. The guy behind me had me by the back of the neck and told me not to even breathe. So had 2 guys work to disarm that. So my 7th day there already, I knew it wasn't fun and games. So
I was in the ship's post office addressing my Christmas cards. I heard the bosun mate say, all men, man your battle stations, now.
I never really thought about the lighter side of it, of being a veteran.
I think my family sacrificed more than I did because my parents, I'm the baby, I was 24 at the time. They suddenly had a 3-year-old child that they were taking care of. When I left, she was 3, and then when I came home, she was 4, and anybody who has kids knows that's a big difference.
Rationing over there was really rough for the people. They think the rationing in the United States is bad. They should have been over there. We fed between 3,500 and 4,000 men. I spent hours from 3 o'clock in the morning to 8 or 9 o'clock at night for quite a few years.
I was wounded in my abdomen, my right arm, and the third one was a gunshot wound to the head.
German peoples came running at me with pitchforks. They had a central place where prisoners of war were brought.
When we had to go back to the Arizona and start picking up bodies and body parts and things, I saw some sailors floundering in across some fire on top of the water, oil burning, and I tried to swim under and I didn't make it. I had to be helped out, and I got crude oil in my eyes, which is very caustic, and I got some 3rd-degree burns, first degree burns in my face.
It just overwhelms you. Some of them were just completely bandaged just because they burnt so bad. Some of them didn't have limbs. Some of them, it left you feeling that those boys suffered.
It shattered my kneecap, and since I've had a couple reconstructive surgeries, and it crushed my spine. to the point where I have a constant pain every day, and it kind of limits some of my activities, but I find a way to make life happen. I find a way to get around the pain and how to deal with it.
We were there to do a job. It wasn't our decision. And what happened wasn't our fault. And we did what we had to and came home and went back to life.
I've met so many people, so many great characters. Probably the strongest willed people I've ever come across are in the military.
I mean, a soldier doesn't call in sick. He doesn't say, I want the day off because I've had a bad day. They continue on knowing that there's that danger out there, and they do it. And they do it because we want to secure our future, just as our veterans from previous wars have done for us.
I'm an American. It's just to quell unnecessary evil. Hitler and Goring and all of those jokers.
I'm thankful to be able to do what I did, and I'm extra thankful to come back home in one piece. Because there's so many people that in other branches of service that never made it.
When we shipped out, we sailed out under the Golden Gate Bridge. And I remember looking back, and I wondered if I'd ever see it again. And one morning, I think it was in September, got up and looked out, and here was land coming up, and I could just barely see the Golden Gate Bridge in the distance. And I thought, man, I made it. And it was great. It was just great.
I was shopping in downtown Waupaca. This 10-year-old boy came up to me. He saw my Marine Corps hat on. He came up to shake my hand and thank me for serving my country. And I said, I did that for you. And then he gave me a hug. And then I started to cry. That was a little bit too much.
We went over there to protect our kids, future generations, so another 9/11 won't happen again.
I would say that they should appreciate what they have here, because what we have is not free.
I'd like them to know that we did the job that was asked of us, sometimes a lot more. And we don't want to be forgotten.